Okay, cool. How are you, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Hello, everyone. You're listening to Lipstick and Leather, and here I am chatting with my friend Patrick. How's your day going?
Great shirt, man.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very excited to do this.
You got that when we met, right?
I did. Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So what's going on? You're up in Canada, right?
Up in Canada. We still got a bit of snow. It's warming up a bit, but it ain't so bad.
Hang on, I gotta turn on my do not disturb here for a second.
Yep, no worries.
Because people are trying to reach me. No, it's on. God damn it. They keep. All right. Didn't mean to take the Lord's name in vain there, but
all good.
Ruthless. They're ruthless. Still trying to fix my thing here. So Lipstick and Leather, man, what's going on?
Lipstick and Leather, yes, I'm loving the new CD Spiritual Violence. Now, will it be released on cassette and vinyl down the road?
Vinyl for sure. Cassette, I'm not sure about that. How many people have cassette players anymore? I don't know. I haven't even seen one in a long time. Yeah, but I remember having such a huge cassette collection. More so, I used to have this 8-track recorder. That's when I really got into songwriting the first time. A friend of mine invested in Butterside and bought this cassette. It was double-sided, and like it would record like 4 tracks on one side, then you'd flip it and it would record the other 4 tracks, and somehow it played back 8 tracks. And that was like, to me, that was like a whole new world. 8 tracks of Patrick all at once. It was pretty cool. But that was on cassette. Yes.
Now, no other band I can think of has done 4 videos before releasing a new album. What made the band decide to do this?
It's just kind of a passion. I think I have, and the other band members are super into it. I mean, who wouldn't be? Making videos is just so fun. It's so creative. It's like you get inspired to, like, you know, do a video, and then an idea comes to mind and you start picturing it in your head, and then you see it coming together like before your eyes is actually the most incredible kind of, you know, it's a big it's rewarding. It's very rewarding to see the whole thing come together. So it's kind of a rush. It's become an addiction for me, myself, to just outdo myself. What can I do this time that I didn't do last time? What can I do bigger and better this time that I didn't do last time? And you know, every single, now it's like the whole spectrum has kind of changed. The music industry's changed. You want to release, at least this is what we're doing. We want to release a new single every 4 to 6 weeks. And it should be, every song should be a hit. No more fillers, no more like B-sides, no more any of that. Every song should be a hit song, you know what I mean? Concentrate, make sure it's worth somebody else's time before you give it to them. And that way, when they listen to it, it's worth their time. And then if it's worth their time, it definitely deserves a video, you know what I mean? You need to hit everybody from every angle, especially with the pandemic going on. You know, people need full on stimulus, not just the track, which is great. You know, you can put that on and clean your house or drive the car or whatever. But when you really want to get into the band and see what we're about and feel our energy, it's really cool to have videos to go to. So we love creating them, and we think that people are really getting a lot out of it.
Very cool. Now, Spiritual Violence was just released. Now, I believe the band has already started writing for a follow-up, and some maybe in Arizona recently.
Yeah, dude, we went to Arizona to Tempe to record with Matt Good, who's just blowing up. I mean, he's got like 5 songs in the top 5, or he's got 5 top songs on the top Billboard rock charts right now. He's just worked with so many amazing artists, and it's just a new sound for us. And you know, we just went into the studio, and we went in without any material really written. We had a few ideas we wanted to use, but we got in there, and he just took the stuff, and he was just a wizard. He just walked up to his computer and like did this and did that, and all of a sudden everything sounded completely new and vibrant and like we've never heard ourselves sound before. So we are just super excited. And talk about hit songs. I mean, like, I look at, you know, this record that's coming out now, I'm so excited and super proud of it. The more I listen to it and dive back into it, you know, with it coming out like it has this week and everything else, it's just like, I've gone and listened to it all over again. And I just kind of got a new ear for it. You know, I was completely saturated in Spiritual Violence for, gosh, it would seem like 2 years it took to get the thing out, because we revamped the lineup and everything else. So, but it's definitely a sound that, like, you know, a lot of the critics are saying that it was like, it's a meld between the Sunset Strip and the Seattle scene, you know? So it's got kind of that, and I can understand that, because, you know, we have one foot in both of those, you know, genres, but and working with Jay, he's like the perfect balance to get in between those two, working with Linkin Park and Chris Cornell, and of course Papa Roach and all these, everybody. He's worked with everybody, and that studio's recorded everyone. But going forward, I think we're going to branch out even further into a new genre, and I can't even really explain where that's going to land until it comes out, but I have a feeling we're going to catch on to a lot of new fans because it's different from anything we've ever done.
Very cool. And that's no relation to the Canadian Matthew Good.
Right. He's from Florida, I think, right? We talked about this, right?
I don't think so.
No, yeah, I think Matt's from Florida. Yeah. Man, this is so funny. I might as well talk about it because she keeps bringing me. Poor thing. This girl Amber went to jail. This girl, she's got the Butterside tattoo on her sleeve, and she's in the Amber Alert video. No relation to the girl that it was written about, but poor thing got picked up for something, and she's trying to call me all day from jail, and I'm like in the middle of this, in the middle of that. I can't answer her call. So if she watches this later, I want to talk to you, but I can't talk to you now. Super funny. Yeah.
Now, you record acoustic sessions of your singles. Will they be released in some format down the road?
One more time.
You recorded acoustic versions of the singles off the new album. Will they ever be released down the road?
I don't know if maybe, if people want them. I mean, we put them out there just to kind of keep you excited about what we're doing and kind of throw a curveball at our pages, our platforms like Facebook and Instagram. They're always so saturated with like, listen to this, watch this, we just released this. Oh my God, she keeps calling. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I have it on it must be 100 calls by now. Anyway, we have, it seems like we're just bombarding you with advertisements and stuff like that. So it's nice to kind of switch it up and just throw something at you that's free, something you can just enjoy, get a different version of the song. Hopefully that gets you excited to maybe click on the link that takes you to the actual, recordings that we took such great time and detail in making, and then you can really experience it in its full force. But yeah, I mean, why not put them together on an EP or something like that, because we have been doing that. Like every song that we put out, we've been kind of doing an acoustic version, but we haven't done one for Amber Alert yet. We'll see if we do one for that.
Looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah.
Now, you write lots about true experiences. Do you consider your lyrics autobiographical or possibly conceptual about life, positivity, love, and darkness?
Yeah. I think that a story has to be profound enough to want to tell it, and it has to be interesting enough to tell it. I don't want to waste people's time. And beyond that, it's really just like, I can't really get emotionally involved unless I'm seriously connected to a story. I can't sing something unless it's really my truth. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get up there and I mean, singing cover songs is one thing, singing somebody else's music. And always, if a song's good enough, you can find your own meaning. That's what I love most about music, is you can connect to a song without knowing the writer's experience at all. You can make up your own by just, the emotion and the sound and everything. You just like something about a song, and you learn the lyrics, and you make your own story out of it. I love that. In today's day and age, it seems like everybody's sharing the behind the stories, and like everybody wants to know what the meaning was behind the song. And while that's cool, like I like to find out what an artist really wrote the song about, and then it's interesting to kind of find that out. But it's also cool to have your own definition of like what it means to you. I think that's super important, and that's what makes my music so special. But yeah, a song really has to be weighing heavily on my heart or in my mind. It's got to be pissing me off or making me love or like have me lustful or whatever it is that becomes the muse. Really fuels the song. Yeah, it's always something very deeply connected to me personally. When we got in the studio with Matt, this stuff that we're going to be coming out with later, it was fun for the first time to actually lend myself to some lyrics. Usually I have to sit there and get it right all myself, has to come from me, but I was really open to like having somebody else's input this time. Because that's what we went there to do, was really to share the experience and write with somebody else. And I found it, very gratifying to share and write lyrics together with someone. But up until this point, Spiritual Violence, everything written on every note, every word, everything has been written by me, except for a couple of phrases, and a few of the songs musically were written by a couple other guys. But all the lyrics, 110% have always come straight from me. And they still do. The guys in the group now still want to leave that to me. And I think that's important. You know what I mean? If somebody in the group decided to write some lyrics that were very profound and meaningful to them, and they shared them with me and we all enjoyed them, I'll be happy to sing them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely. Now tell me about going to Jamaica, racing to the buoy with Danny Bond, of course, that's Taikedo's singer.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. You know, it's the after story that's even more interesting. But yeah, I was like doing CrossFit and stuff at the time, and like, you know, no homo at all. Not that there's, you know, I have plenty of gay friends, but I admired this dude's, like, you know, he looked like he was working out a lot. He looked over at me, and we kind of like had this kind of, you know, this competitive kind of a vibe, you know. He's like, you want to race to that buoy? And I was like, yeah. And it was way the hell out there. Like, I mean, like, I can't even tell you how far it was. Like, it was a little dot in the ocean. And we both just dove under, and we started swimming super hard. And I beat his ass. I beat his ass out there, and I beat his ass back. But the funniest part of all of it, not by much though, not by much. I didn't beat him by much. But great dude. We sat out there at the buoy, super tired. We sat there, you know, having a conversation and talking, getting to know each other a little bit, catching our breath before we swam back. But the funniest part of all was coming up onto the beach. There was like this authority guy, beach authority, and he walked up and he says, no swimming, no swimming. You didn't hear the warning. And I was like, what warning? And he says, well, a great white got through the gate. So I guess this Jamaican beach, this whole island is surrounded by an underwater fence that keeps, you know, vicious fish out. And that day they had spotted a huge great white shark that was swimming in that area. And to be honest with you, when I was about halfway out, it was so deep, and I was just like, I feel like bum, I could feel something. I could feel something there. And that's been one of my hugest fears my entire life. Like, you know, my dad put me on his knee when I was just a tiny child, and we watched Jaws. And I don't know if he did that because he thought it was funny, or just maybe he was trying to toughen me up or something. But man, I sat in my bed for months after that, thinking I was on a boat, super scared, like I couldn't sleep with the lights off. I was just so scared of sharks. So when they told me that, I was like, thank God I didn't know that going into it. That would have been a pretty cool dare, to swim out to that buoy and back knowing there was a shark in the water, but I would have never done that. Probably would have swam a lot faster too.
Now with Carla in the Amber Alert video and yourself knowing her for a long time, did you ever get to see the Butcher Babies live when it was 4 ladies on stage in their beginning days?
I did. I was, again, Carla and I go way back. I mean, way back. Like, we would listen to demos. I had a band, Aces and Eights, and she was in a group. I think she was trying to get the Butcher Babies together, but she had demos of herself singing. And, you know, we would listen in her Corvette, and we would just, you know, push each other. Like, we really supported each other. And, you know, if I had known that day that I mean, I knew she was going to be super successful just because she's drop dead gorgeous. She's super talented. She's so ambitious. There's just nothing in the world that could possibly stop her. So I knew she was destined for greatness. Then she starts putting together the Butcher Babies. And then there's these 4 hot chicks, and they're coming out with like barely anything on the bottom, tape over their boobs. They came out throwing blood all over the crowd. I remember them slapping the guys in the front row, and the guys just be like, yeah, slap me again. I was like, holy crap, she's going to blow up with this. Like, it's just so marketable, you know what I mean? Which is something I wish that I had more so, you know. She just nailed it, you know. And then watching the others fall off was just kind of like watching scabs fall off of a scar, you know. And then underneath this volcano that erupted were Heidi and Carla left to carry the torch for the Butcher Babies. And I remember when they got that first Marilyn Manson tour, I think I was at the show. just, you know, I was at every show, you know, I was buying the t-shirts. So it's just a huge supporter. And she's always come out and done the same for Butterside. And we've just always been there for each other. And when it came time to sing something super sexy and, you know, that we had, you know, I just asked her to do it. She came and just blew us away. It's just the greatest thing. I love why, and they're just blowing up now, bigger than ever. We're all kind of in the same camp now. So like we're going to start utilizing the same people that they're working with. And it's just like, we've been dying to get inside of this rock and roll family for so long, and she's paved the way. And, you know, it's just the greatest. It's just super. I can't wait to see what we do in the next year and a half.
Mm-hmm, definitely. Now, there were 7 tracks written in your days with Adler that are unreleased, other than Alive, of course. Will they ever be released in any kind of format or something like that?
The Adler's Appetite stuff?
Yeah, the 7 tracks you wrote from when you were with Adler's Appetite.
We did write a lot of stuff when we were out on the road. And I have those demos, but they never got recorded professionally. We redid a song called Alive. That one's on YouTube, the audio for it, and it's got some pictures of our tour life together. And that track turned out epic, but the original is super awesome too. And they'd released that, you know, like, you know, legitimately. So like that's the stuff that will stay out there for that. But yeah, probably not. You know, I love Steven to death. I try to see him every chance I get. We do a lot of benefits and stuff like that still together, and every chance we get, we jam. But you know, his professional career and what he wanted to do with his life lied down a different path than where I wanted to go. And I couldn't be more excited that I chose Butterside. And he's 110% behind us as well. He just wrote an amazing review for our group, and we've been posting that everywhere. I just love Steven to death. It would have been cool to have written, you know, some more stuff and put out some more stuff with Steven, but again, that would have just been prolonging the inevitable, which was that I had to do this. Going back to what you asked about songwriting and lyrics and everything like that, it's like, that's what I need to get done before I leave this plane. You know what I mean? I need to reach everyone I can with the story that I have. And Steven's amazing, but that's his story. And he's got such an amazing story. You can't step in front of that and try to tell your own, you know what I mean? Somebody needs to get in there and really, you know, back him up on his story. And I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm a candle that you can't turn off, you know what I mean? So I need to speak my truth. It would have been great to do that together. But I couldn't be happier. You know, I mean, my drummer is phenomenal. Jeff Dubray is just goddamn amazing. Go on his page, watch his drumming. I mean, he's just, you know, again, with the new stuff that we're writing, completely different than classic rock or even LA rock. It's to step up from that. And I'm so excited that the energy is finally really matching the story and everything I need to put out there. So I'm stoked. I'm happy. But yeah, the Adler's Appetite stuff, there is some stuff on YouTube if you want to check it out. But as far as releasing it, I don't think so.
Fair enough. Now, for the first album, you guys had kind of a mascot, Agent Butterside. Will Agent Butterside ever come back? So I was hoping there would be comic strips and maybe all that down the road.
God, me too, man. That was the original idea, and the new girl too, Kali. Without finding a better name for her, Kali, you know, with the 10 arms, you know, this religious kind of a figure. You know, both of them. I think that was kind of like, that was my hopes, you know, like I wanted to have an Eddie like Iron Maiden has, and that was the original idea with Agent Butterside, was really to give that kind of a, you know, we wanted that side of it. Comic books, Comic-Con. I love Comic-Con. I'm a huge nerd. I mean, you see the Star Wars collection behind me. I've got walls covered in just like super nerd stuff. And I love that. So it's just something that I creatively get into, and album covers, you know, just something to look at, you know what I mean? Something that I enjoy looking at. Of course, you know, my favorite thing in the world is the female figure, you know, like, you know, beyond, you know, something sexy. It's just like, you know, the mother nature and your mom herself, you know, she's just like this female figure. Like I've always liked movies that have a strong female component to it. I love, you know, the new, going back to Star Wars, the new Rey, you know what I mean? I love Hunger Games, all of this stuff. These strong female characters always have been very appealing to me. So without thinking it through as much as I maybe should have, as far as marketing goes and everything else, this idea of the Agent Butterside came into my brain. I reached out to an artist to draw it. He drew it up. We had this amazing sketch that turned out to be the exact, we duplicated it completely with one of America's Top Models from that show. Her name's Natasha Galkina. She came in, and then we added all of the stuff, which were actually these props that we got were actual, they're physical guns, and we used what we found for lasers. I went to a prop shop, and I got everything to match exactly how the drawing was, and it felt like the universe was just trying to give it to me, because how insane is it that I found all of the pieces that looked exactly like what came out of our brains onto the paper. So it was just this meant to be kind of a thing. And when I latch onto something like that, I don't let go. So I was super positive about doing it, super excited about creating it. And to see her come to life in some kind of a cartoon would be just completely outstanding. I would love to see that. But beyond that, my friend Izzy White, who's done a lot of rock and roll stuff with like Tommy Lee and with Mickey Avalon and stuff like that, she's actually missing. Her poor thing had an accident, and she lost the one of her legs, the lower half of one of her legs. So she walked into my life at this nightclub, and she walks in front of me, and she's got this this prosthetic leg. It looked like this machine, and she's just drop dead gorgeous. And I said, you have to go on tour with me. And we actually have already gotten the outfit, and it's crazy. The outfit came, like we found like this skin tight outfit to make her look metal. And the outfit came and it had the same font as Butterside had. Like I was just like, whoa, this is meant to be. And it all just kind of got stacked up. And then we didn't actually take her out on the road with us because the budget wasn't there. But Izzy will come out with us. And I would love to have, this character like Eddie comes out for the Iron Maiden shows, in an airplane or whatever. But I would love to see Izzy come out with this blade, and then the jet pack, you know what I mean? Maybe attach some strings to her. I mean, it's not that far off. Every day you meet somebody new that like can help you get things done. And I wouldn't be surprised if I tried to invent that idea with live shows coming back, in a few weeks in LA. It's going to be the perfect excuse to start trying new things, to go beyond and above what anybody else is doing in town to get people to our shows, because I know everybody's going to be so hungry for live music. But I am definitely going to try. Mark my words, Izzy will be Agent Butterside on stage. I still have the helmet. It's right over there. Here, I'm going to get it.
Sure.
Still have the helmet. We created this. Our artist, Rostan made this, Paul Rostan. So that's the actual helmet. She can wear it, and then the rest of the items, I still have all of them, the guns and the lasers and all that stuff. So that will be super awesome for her to come out and just fly around on stage. It's just a question of time when we can actually implement that into the live show. And Kali too, Spiritual Violence's 10-armed girl. Like, how insane would that be?
That would be something to look forward to, and awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing less, bringing them to life, on the screens, because everybody's got these screens. Like we did the Monsters of Rock Cruise live stream, and they had these incredible screens. And if you're prepared, you can put some video together. I've been to many shows where just like the screens are just as much of a part of the show as the guitar player or the drummer. You know what I mean? It's just like so visually stimulating. I'd love to see that character come to life, move around, do some crazy things, murder some people, save some people, whatever. Kali has to come out with her 10 arms and deliver the cards, and each card has a story behind it. You see on our Instagram page, we've been releasing it. If you bought the new record, every song has its own tarot card. Its own story is represented in that picture that's on the card. And all of those were just pulled straight out of my head and then given to an artist to draw up. They each of them represent the lyrics in the song and the meaning behind it. So visually, I think that this band is headed towards being a top contender for, like, we're not just a band that's gonna get out there and just think that we're fascinating enough as human beings to supply the demand that is needed to get people excited. Like, we're going to give you so far, given the opportunity, we're going to give you far beyond what you possibly expect from a rock and roll show.
Super awesome.
Man, I can babble on. I know that. God damn.
Now, what are some of your memories of your former roommate and Dragon Lizard Wizard, Jimmy Bain?
Oh my God. Wow. I love how you pull this stuff out. Jimmy Bain, yes, the dragon, the lizard king, man. Like Jim Morrison before him. Um, Jimmy was just such a sweetheart, just like Lemmy. They both have this thing about them where it's just like it was undeniable how sweet they were. You never would want to lie to them or hurt them, or and they were the same. You just knew they were good people. Jimmy and I got in a lot of trouble together. While we were good people at heart, we did a lot of we dabbled in a lot of the devil's playthings, together. A lot of history there. He eventually moved in with me, and that's when it got really good or really bad. It's hard to say. The spiritual education I got from those days is beyond measure. I mean, we dove in deep so hard, and I was just constantly knocking the door on either heaven or hell every single time we went really far. But beyond that, musically, he was always available to me, and he just laid down the bass like nobody else could. Sometimes the most simple riffs, he would just hum on for hours, and like it was like a machining. He would just play and play and play, and we locked onto something cool. We wrote a song called Dragons and Lizards that we actually went and got a deal at Interscope with, and we went and recorded this with, all under the name Butterside, by the way. It was already Butterside. We did a few songs together. There's a few others. Ball Breaker we did. All fucking fantastic songs. I don't think they're quite well enough structured, but they could definitely be different. One tweak here, one tweak there, that could be hit songs. But we just wrote a bunch of stuff. We recorded a lot of stuff. Had a lot of fun together. Jimmy Bain, man, may he live forever in so many spirits and souls, because he's just such a wonderful human being, and I miss him. I really miss him.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, labels are often releasing unreleased demos of bands. Have you ever been approached to release the Mondo Kane demos?
Ha! That would be cool. Those demos are awesome, dude. Phew, wow, that just brings back a whole smell of life. Like, man, I was just such a young kid when we were doing that stuff. We were so wild and so freaking crazy. LA was just blowing up. I mean, the Sunset Strip was like Disneyland on its most packed day. You know what I mean? The Sunset Strip, and everybody's hair and cocaine and blowjobs in the down the alleyways, and just debauchery and craziness everywhere. And Mondo Kane was just surfing that wave. We were the kings of the underground. Like, everybody would go to the shows on the Strip, and Mondo Kane was the king of after hours. Okay, so like after you've gone out and you've paid for your tickets and like you've done all that, and all the goody two shoes went home, the after hours would begin. And that's where Mondo Kane was on stage. And it was almost every night. I think we had our own place, this down behind Studio 54 over there. We had a studio. And as soon as everything would close down, everybody knew just to go over there. And it was this huge place, 7 or 8 kind of rehearsal rooms, and they would all be filled with people. And then we actually, cut a hole into the ceiling so that people could go in the attic. You know what I mean? I don't think we ever got, the cops would come, and like, I just don't know what it was. People just didn't, like, we were just out of control. Nobody was really getting in trouble, but then people were dying left and right. I mean, people were getting laid left and right. Drugs were everywhere. It was crazy. Mondo Kane was just, what a wave that was. But the music was super cool, man. I was more in touch with like my Jim Morrison side then than ever. And there's just this part of this one song that just really goes into this trancy thing. We recorded this stuff and I was just so high, but it was just so good too at the same time. It was so good. I would love to release that at some point. Hopefully if I make, a big of an impression on the world and become famous enough, somebody will care enough to hear those again. But putting them out right now, there's just no marketing behind it. I'm not gonna try to get people excited about pushing that stuff. If they want to DM me about it, I could probably make some of that available to you. But yeah, those are great songs, man. Pablo and Tyler and Frank and Tim, we were such a unit. It was such a good time. Really cool stuff. But yeah, Chester just came out with the Gray Days stuff after he's gone. Maybe somebody will remix the Mondo Kane stuff someday.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, did your bands Q, Solo, and Triple X ever record any material?
Ooh, Triple X. man, how do you know all this stuff? This is insane. That was like I had that tattooed on my arm. Was it this side or there was this side? And I got a dragon over it because it was just so horrible. It was a terrible tattoo, like barbed wire and skulls and stuff. That was just the name that my buddies and I were inspired enough to move to LA for. We had my buddy Brian, the drummer, actually ditched out like last second. He chickened out, but Brian Morgan and I came down to LA like 17, 18 years old with big stars in our eyes. And we called our thing Triple X. To be honest with you, I can't remember the name of the songs, but you know, I remember one line from it, I think, but that's what I came down here with. That's the kind of attitude, total sleaze, glam rock kind of wannabe thing, you know, like Triple X, like, you know, super sexy, but like, you know, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. That you know, drugs came in and took over that whole thing pretty quick. And I think my addiction came on so fast and money poured out the window so quickly that it scared my guys out of LA. They all ran away from me and from what was happening. And from there, I kept spiraling downward. But for me, I kind of felt like I was going sideways. I did a lot of amazing stuff in my drug days, but it wasn't until I got sober that I could really focus on doing it for real like we are now. No Triple X. I don't think you'll ever see that stuff come to the light of day. I will call Brian. He and I still talk. He's up in Oregon. He's got a family now. And if I get a chance to, I'll ask him if he's got any of those demos. Maybe we can share them with you.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, people know, of course, that you are almost in Velvet Revolver and Quiet Riot, but you were almost in Warrant also. How close was that to happening?
To what?
You were also almost in Warrant at one point. Also, you did some rehearsals with Eric Turner, I believe.
Yeah, Eric and I were we buddied up. Like I met him at On the Rocks one night. I think he just kind of saw me around town. I think he'd heard of Mondo Kane. I think that's who I was with still at the time. Yeah, and they started kind of courting me. We kind of just started hanging out, and they were having me outs with you know, with Janie. So yeah, I was supposed to go over to who was it? Andy Good. Andy Good was. I went over to his place. That's where they're doing some recordings. And I remember kind of just thinking to myself, Warrant, you know, I got to give it a shot. You know, it's a legit gig, you know, whether how depending. Yeah. But Eric was so cool. Eric was really a really cool dude. And yeah, I went over, I think we were getting ready to like record our first notes together. The whole band was there. And literally while I was at the studio, Janie came in and was like, guys, I'm sorry, or, you know, let's get back together. I mean, that's literally the way it played out. And I think like, I left that day just kind of like, okay, Warrant's coming back with Janie. And then Janie came back and that lasted for a little while. And you know, I'm super excited that they're still around. I mean, it couldn't happen, you know, those guys are so freaking cool. Like, you know, Dixon and all those guys are just fucking rad, you know, really cool people, and they really deserve to keep going. So I'm happy that they're still playing shows. Again, super stoked that I got Butterside.
Yes. Now, you recorded 4 songs with Velvet Revolver that, of course, never saw the light of day. Will they ever in some format?
It's actually, yeah, 6 to be honest, because I did a couple different versions of a couple songs, because like we went back and forth kind of, they said that they liked this, but try something different. And, you know, I'd like to think that like it was because everybody just sprawled out and did, you know, went on to do other things. It was about the same time that Slash was recording all of the record with the superstars, you know, he did the thing with Ian Astbury and Ozzy and Miles. So that whole thing was kind of getting underway while we were still attempting the Velvet Revolver thing. Matt had like the Stilettos, and Duff was doing Loaded. And it felt like they really wanted Velvet Revolver, but at the same time, they were already moving towards going full bore with the other things. And those things kind of just took over. So they just, you know, just fizzled out, you know. You know, I'd like to think that I was exactly what they were looking for, and Matt still, you know, I've seen Matt on many occasions, and I just love the guy to death. He was so fundamental in bringing Lemmy back to health. and to being able to play. You know, their rehearsals, they got Lemmy back on stage after he, you know, fallen apart. And I was there to witness that. And I mean, Matt's just so cool. His wife's just so freaking cool. I just, you know, I hope I get that kind of a life someday. It's funny. I have this, a girlfriend gave me this Russian, it's like looks like a metal. I'm going to show it to you. This thing. So what Russians do, and I love Russian culture, they get these and then you're supposed to fill it up with the soil of somebody's property you want to have a life like. So while I was at Matt's place, I said, can I have some dirt out of your garden? And he said, of course you can. Come on, let's go dig some up. So there, Matt Sorum and I are digging up dirt in his yard, and we put there's about this much full of mats, and then actually stole some from Nuno Betancourt when I was up at his house, because man, he's got a beautiful freaking house. I'm like, it's like you can touch the Hollywood sign from there. I'm like, yeah, I want this. So I'm gonna take some of your dirt, and then I have some sand in here from Tahoe for my father. I mean, Tahoe is just the most beautiful place on earth. So there's still quite a bit of room in here. I don't know who I'm going to meet that I'm going to put some more soil in there, but I think I've got enough in there to magically bring a super successful life already to reality.
That's really cool.
Yeah. The Velvet Revolver songs, though, they turned out so fucking cool, man. They're such great songs, and it's like I forget about them because it's just like, you know what I mean? It's kind of heartbreaking, you know, that it didn't get to where it was going. And then you just kind of put them away, kind of like pictures of an old girlfriend. You don't want to look at them, especially if you love them that much. It hurts to see them, but it doesn't hurt to listen to those songs. Hopefully someday I'll be with Matt or Slash or something like that again, and I'll be able to I'll pop those in and be like, remember this? And I wouldn't be surprised if they say, fuck, let's fucking do this. You know what I mean? And put it out. But again, I think I've got to get myself to some kind of, you know, level of success to where like everybody's dying to work with me. I think we're well on our way to that. So yeah.
Now, how are you doing for time? So I know you said you had a half hour. It's probably
I've got. Are you there?
Oh yeah, it broke up. I didn't hear. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I've got to go. I do. I have to go. I've got somebody knocking at my door at 5:15, and I've got to clean this place up a little bit.
No worries. You know what? Can we do a part 2? I'm gonna have the Buttersides in by Wednesday, so I'll actually have a hard copy. Can we do a part 2 maybe the late next week or something like that?
Anytime you want, Ryan. You know, I love the back and forth. I love texting with you. You're just a really positive guy. I can't tell you how much I really appreciate the support. Hearing from somebody that is this interested, like, you've made my day, dude. You've made my week. Like, just bringing up all this stuff, like it's part of this. You brought up parts of the story that I wouldn't tell, that are actually like, man, you like moving to LA, talking about Triple X, like it brought back all of the girls I knew back then and all of the friends I made and like all of the dreams we used to talk about. Like, wow, like it's great talking to you. So yes, anytime you want to, we can make a freaking Netflix miniseries out of it if you want.